Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. If you're a subscriber to my channel, you can ask me a question. So one question, I'll answer it for free. And all you need to do is like my content and subscribe. And then use my contact information in the description box below to ask me one question. Make sure that when you do that, you include the time and place of your birth as well, so I can be as accurate as possible. So for today's chart reading, we have a woman who writes in, "Dear Nancy, my question is, will I solve the problem of the mortgage registered by the contractor who sold me my home? I need to start a court case, but in my country, there is a big problem with obtaining documentation. Will I and when will I be able to manage to solve the problem with my home? Thank you." Okay. So first, I think you all know this, but what I'm about to share with you is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. The information that I share is for educational purposes only, and this is only the potential that is shown on the charts. There's nothing that's carved in stone. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull up her natal chart. For these lessons, I use the whole sign or whole house method. And the houses that we want to look at for lawsuits and legal matters are houses 6, 7, 8, and 11. So the sixth house is where you'll find information about litigations and legal disputes. The seventh house is contracts and agreements. The eighth house is about everything behind closed doors, money matters, and mortgages. The 11th house is really important for lawsuits because it shows you the outcome of court cases, because it's the house of financial gains. So you can look here for the overall outcome. So first, let's check out the sixth house. You have to make sure that it's strong or it's supported by strong planets that are not in their fall or detriment. And she does have a sixth house that's ruled by Capricorn, which is a very grounded cardinal earth sign. It's powerful. It's ruled by Saturn because Saturn's the ruler of Capricorn. Next, we have the seventh house. And here you see we have Pluto sitting right on the cusp between the sixth and seventh house. Pluto is about tearing down what's no longer serving us, and it's also about power. And it's going to be staying in this vicinity for most of 2023. Next, let's look at the eighth house. So we currently have transiting Saturn here in the sign of Pisces, and I like that here because Saturn is the disciplinarian and taskmaster. So Pisces can be a little daydreamy, a little wish-washy at times. I have Pisces in my seventh house of marriage, contracts, and relationships. So Saturn's in her eighth house, and it's saying, hey, we need to focus. We need to play by the rules here. So let's get on this. So I like that for her. Now, the 11th house is not the best. Yes, it has Jupiter in there, but Jupiter's in its detriment in Gemini, so it's going to be weak. And does this mean that she's going to lose her case? No, it doesn't mean she'll lose. It just might take more time and patience. Okay, so now let's check out her solar return chart for 2023. A solar return is a tool that we use to predict the year that it's cast on. It's good for only that 1 year. And boom. So as you can see, almost everything in her chart is focused right around her 6th, 7th, and 8th houses in 2023. And I want you to look at the 6th house. Do you see Saturn conjunct the moon? This is her emotions, and Saturn is trying to suppress those emotions, stuff them down. And what I want to say is that it's really important to release that stress. Find something, some way to remove your stress every day, because if you don't, it's going to manifest into other things that you don't want to deal with. Whether you're going through a lawsuit or not, it's really important to relieve that stress. So, excuse me, she's got her sun, Uranus, and Mercury in her 8th house. And there's illumination and change that's happening in this house in 2023. And the sun lights up wherever it goes. Uranus is all about unexpected change and thinking outside the box. In the 11th house, she's got Black Moon Lilith in there. And this indicates where there will be some struggle this year. So I'd certainly say that the energies of 2023 support the idea that there will be a considerable amount of focus and thought on a dispute centered around private matters. So let's look at the moon cycles now, because we can use them to predict what might happen. Okay, so what you want to do is find the lunations, the new moons and the full moons that are falling in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 11th houses to see what energies there are. Are they favorable? Are they unfavorable? So on July 3rd, there's going to be a full moon that will be activating her 6th house. Now, what pops out at you? That's a pretty big red square. And this is called a grand cross or a grand square. And this is a very hard aspect. It's when there are 4 planets, each one of them 90 degrees square to the next, and each are sitting in a different element. So one is in water, one is in fire, one in earth, and one in air, but they're all in the same modality. And in this case, it's all cardinal signs. So what this means is that she might be pushing really hard to get something started, but once it's started, it will become stuck. And I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just making a suggestion. If I were her, I would not sign anything or initiate anything on this day. You can do it before this lunation, or you can do it after this lunation, but I wouldn't start anything on this day. Okay. Now, moving forward, the full moon on August 31st happens in her 8th house. And you can see here that the grand square has dissipated, and the full moon's bringing to light something in her 8th house. There's a shift here. And now we feel like things are moving forward. Moving on to the full moon on November 27th, in her 11th house, we see that the moon is conjunct her natal Jupiter. Full moons are all about the culmination and the releasing of things that no longer serve you. And I feel that by this time, one way or another, you will have the satisfaction that you're looking for. Everything will be at a completion, or on its way to a completion. This full moon in Gemini and the 11th house is the culmination of the new moon in Gemini in the 11th house on June 18th. So what I want you to do, if you're listening, is on the 18th of June, if this court case is still ongoing, I want you to set an intention on that day. Write down on a piece of paper and say, I have complete faith that justice will come to me in this court case. And then what I want you to do is burn the paper, do it in a safe spot, send it out to the universe, let the universe do its work. But you stay on top of what you need to do with this case, okay? So I'm going to close out this session by asking this person's spirit guides and all of our spirit guides to hover over us and protect us, guide us in the right direction always. All right. Much love to you all, and can't wait to talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.